Hello and what's up everyone, welcome to the 6th video in our 7 days of computer vision project series where we will be covering simple computer vision projects using image processing and open source tools. I am Piper from DataQuell and today we are going to write a code to kill a housefly. Please don't get confused because it will be a game, not the real fly. Flies are dotty insects and we like them beside a spider. What we will do is spawn fly randomly at our frame and then we will kill our fly by moving hand above the fly location. It will be a fun game, so without getting any delay, let's get started. So before going to coding part, we need to have some images of fly. So head over to your browser and search for fly and then download those images whose background will be black. Please download at least 3 alive flies and 2 dead flies. We will name alive fly as just fly and dead fly as dead fly. Crop the flies and save it. But if you are in hurry, please see the description below to download images that I will be using. Now let's get into the coding part. As usual, we will start with imports and we will import mediapipe, numpy, opencv and matplotlib. Then we will define a dummy function which will show our image in little bit larger figure. Then test the function by simply passing a black image of 10 by 10. But seems I made a mistake. I should have used 10 by 10 inside parentheses. It is working now. Now we need to have a fly names. Let me go to my project folder. Its name is game using opencv and mediapipe, and then inside it is a folder named as fly, and inside there are images of flies. I have 5 images, 3 alive flies and 2 dead flies. Now inside a list store all the path of flies. The fly name will store alive fly names and dead fly will be stored in dead fly list. Let's define a variable all fly names and inside it will be all the names of flies. It would have been easy to use os.listdir, but here I am using list comprehension. I should have used dead fly names. Although we search for complete black background image, some might not be black, so to make it black, we will do some kind of image masking and check for some of BGR values of pixel. Read the image and make a mask which will sum the BGR pixel, and if it is smaller than 20 then we will make it black. Then we will save the image as default image. This is just a simple thresholding. Then let's show one image. As you can see, our background is black, and main reason to use black background is that we can easily apply mask of this fly on our frame or fly windows. Since we will spawn random flies on random place with random life, how can we manage all like a distinct fly by a single item? Well, using class we can achieve it. So let's define 2 classes. First we will hold name and image of alive dead flies, and another class will use the name and image as, then mix random fly with random position and random life. Let's define our first class all flies, and let's copy the fly names from above and paste it inside class. Then make a list flies to hold alive fly images and read each fly by giving its name. Similarly, use list dead flies for dead flies. Once done, check our class by showing a fly. Now we will define another class which will represent a fly. Let's name that class a fly and make it inherited from all flies class. While initializing, we will specify few things like after how many frames should our fly disappear, and it should be disappearing as 40. Interactive to assume that our fly is alive or dead. Each fly will have life and it will start from 0 to disappearing. Then we need to have fly size, and we will initialize as 80 by 80. We will also store information about heat, and it will be false as default but will be true once our hand lies above fly. Then we will also pass the frame size to spawn fly within that frame range. Now make all these information property of flies as attribute. After we define properties, then we will call a function named as make_fly, which will make a fly with given properties at a random location. Now let's write a function make_fly, and it should make a random fly image at a random location. So let's first take a random image from our flies list and store it in variable current_fly. Which is URR_fly. Then resize the fly to our predefined size. Then we will also define a dead fly for this fly. Once our hand lies above this fly, we will replace image of alive fly to dead fly. So again, choose randomly and resize it from dead fly list and place it in variable d fly. Take a shape of fly, a C shape. We must spawn our fly within the visible range on the frame, which means that no portion of fly can be away from frame. So we will take half of row and column size of fly. Take height and width of current fly. Now find a x position of fly randomly and it must be within the range C shape 0 and s minus C shape 0. Copy this code and edit for random y value. We will define x1, x2 as the topmost x value and bottommost value of x in the rectangle. Then copy and paste, then edit for y1 and y2. These values x1, x2, y1, y2 gives the rectangle's top left and bottom right coordinate of fly, and we will store it in tuple as self.position. Finally, set current fly in image and dead fly image in dead image. Now check if we can view fly or not. Make an object of fly, then show the alive and dead image. Here is the result. Now we will define another method which will update the state of fly from alive to dead. We will call this function if our hand lies above fly. So if fly has been hit, then we will change image from alive image to dead image and we will make its interactive value as false from the true, because it is dead now and it should not be interactive. And we will make it disappear a little bit faster, so change variable disappear underscore in value. Let's see once more if we can see dead image after it is hit or not. Make it hit and then update it. Now here is the result. Once our image was alive fly and after being hit, the image is dead fly. We just made a class fly which will handle all the hassle of fly, and now we will write codes to do our playing parts. Just like previous times, define a video source as default camera. Then frame size is f size and value is 600 by 820. Again, we will use drawing and hand module of mediapipe solution, so let's take them. We will write codes for game handling, but let's first show our hand and rectangle around our hand. Mediapipe does not have hand recognition or hand segmentation model, so we will have to just use landmarks to estimate hand rectangle. Let's take our hand module by giving static image mode true, maximum number of hand as 1 and minimum detection confidence as 0.1. Then as usual, check if camera is opened, and if it is open, then read the frame. We will also wait for key event and let's check if frame read was successful, and if it was not, then we will skip this pass of the loop. Next we will flip our frame to make it look like selfie frame and resize frame to our predefined shape f size. Mediapipe expects image to be in RGB format, so we will convert our frame to RGB and then pass it to process of hands module. Once done, we will also take height and width of current frame. Then we will check if our hand has been detected, and if it is, then we will draw landmarks. So loop through landmarks and take the x coordinate of all landmarks and make it array. We will multiply it by w to convert normalized x value to frame world. We will also make it integer, then do same for y coordinates. Now we will make a rectangle around our hand, and to do that we need to have minimum values of x and y for top left corner and maximum value for bottom right corner. Then make a rectangle by giving the exact coordinates and then using the color as blue, then thickness as 1. Then we will show the frame. Check the key event if escape is hit, then if escape key is hit, then break the loop. At last, release camera and destroy all windows. Before running, let's draw hand landmarks too. Let me run this. As you saw earlier, the rectangle was visible around my hand. Now we will define few more variables like level as 1, check every to show fly in every 30 frame initially, check count from 0, fly shape to 80 by 80, all is to store all the instances of fly, and we will define minimum disappear in frame as 30 and score as 0 and p score as -1. Then lives will be 5. The live is used for the purpose that whenever the fly escapes from our frame, live will be decreased by 1, and once it reaches 0, the game will be over. Now we will check if live is greater than 0, and if it is, then we will play game, else we will show that the game is over. But just like previous projects, let's define a details panel where we will show current level, flies, score, etc. The array will be black image of 100 rows and column as far as frame. Now we will spawn a fly. In order to spawn a fly, we will check if show_every is smaller or equal to check count. Then we will get the random life for a new fly, and then we will append the object of fly class, and the fly class will be given informations like disappear in frame size. Then make check count to 0. In the details panel, we will show how many flies are now, and we will count the alive flies. The text will contain a label, score, lives and alive flies in the screen, and we will put this text in details array. But we need to show these things only if we are playing game. So let's move code inside if lives is greater than 0. We have written a code to spawn a fly, but we have not done anything to show a fly. So let's do it. To show the fly, first we will look through all the flies inside list and get its position and make a mask of a fly. If you are following our videos in this series, then I have been using this mask few times, and this mask replaces the non-black pixels in a frame or any window. We will take a sum of each BGR values in a pixel, and if it is not 0, then we will replace those positions pixel. We will define a variable life for fly.life and disappear in for life.disappear in. Now, if life is equal to 0, then we will increase life of fly by 1 and also show the fly image in fly window. Let's first define a fly window, and it will be a black image of size frame. If life is smaller than disappear in, then we will increase life by 1. What if fly's life is greater than disappear in? Then we need to remove the fly from the screen because its time is up. But first, we will see if it was hit or not. If it was hit, then it is a dead fly and its escape won't affect our lives. But if it was not hit, then life should be decreased, and we will also show red color on details panel. Then we will reset fly windows portion and remove that fly from the all flies list. Now we will check if our fly got hit or not, which means that if our hand is above fly or not. And we will do a condition check that if the fly rectangle is inside our hand rectangle or not, and if it is, then the fly is hit. So we will check ymin is smaller than x1 and ymax is greater than x2, and xmin is smaller than y1 and xmax is greater than y2, and upon this condition being true, we will make fly.hit as true and increase the score by label times 5, and then update the state of fly. Furthermore, we will show the fly image in fly window and frame by applying the previously created mask. If fly is not within the hand rectangle, then we will simply show the fly on fly window and frame by applying the mask. Let's run this code. It is showing an error, and the error is in putting the text. We also need to show a fly window, and let's write it too. And there is another main thing we are missing. It is not increasing the check count value, and running it once, I got an error. And the error is while we are spawning random location of flies. It seems that I am passing fly size as f size, but it must be f size. Correcting and running it once more, and I got another error. There should be life instead of b. Running it once more, another error, and it's in data type. I should have used uint8 instead of np.uint8. Running it once more, as you can see in the screen, there are flies spawning on random location, and as you can see in the screen, some flies were in my face and it is disgusting. Good thing is our flies are spawning and escaping randomly. Now there are none flies in the screen because all of our flies are lost, as more than 5 flies escaped. Now let's attach details panel on the top of our frame by numpy's b stack and then make it unsigned integer of 8 bits. Let's see it once more. As you can see in the screen, the details panel is working fine. All the flies spawns, the flies is also shown, and once the remaining lives get below 1, then our fly spawn will not happen. And the details panel is completely blank. So we need to tell that game is over and please restart using space key. Copy and paste the previous text and then edit it. Let's tell game is over and show score and hit space to restart. It will be put in the details panel. If space key is it, then make everything default, starting from fly window and lives to 20, all flies list is empty, score to 0, label to 1. Let's define lives as 20 on the top 2. Let's play the game. As you saw earlier, everything was working fine, except the level was never increased. We need our game to be little bit harder or difficult as we progress. So let's do something like if score is not 0 and is divisible by 10 and previous score is not equal to score, then we will make previous score as score and increase level by 1. And also increase values like show every by 2 but keep it above 10, and do same for minimum disappear in value. Let's see what happens. As you saw earlier, the level was increasing as the score increased. Also the difficulty is increased and I am continuously losing lives, and the game is over now. And my high score was 1345. Let me hit space key and restart the game. But it is again playing super fast. Something is not right, so let's fix that. The problem is that we are not resetting the variables like show every and minimum disappearing and check count. Just to test, let's make our lives 2 and rerun. By hitting space key, and the game is working on normal speed. I think this is all for this project, and we started from downloading fly image to making a fun game. In this project, we did something fun and I hope you enjoyed killing flies, and we would like to have feedbacks or any improvements you wish to see in us. Please leave us comments and stay tuned for the final project video where I will be doing something simple yet interesting. Stay safe and I will see you in the next video.